of AFCTA, the AFCTA Policy and Development Center here in Strathmore. We recognize the importance of policy development in driving the success of Africa Continental Free Trade Area. It is also through strategic, well-crafted policies that we can create an enabling environment for business to thrive, facilitate investment flows, and promote fair and equitable trade practices. The role of the Center will be instrumental in this regard, providing a platform for research, analysis, and evidence-based policy making. We intend to tap into this resource, not just as Kenya, but as EAC and as the wider body of the African continent. As we embark on this journey, it is essential to acknowledge and keenly examine and attend to the challenges that lie ahead. To begin with, we must tackle issues related to infrastructure development, regulatory harmonization, human capital development, and the facilitation of cross-border trade. According to the African Development Bank, Africa needs to invest between $130 and $170 billion annually in infrastructure for the next decade. This center will need to figure out how this is going to happen, what levers we need to use, what instruments will come into play so that we can attain these targets. The AFCTA will serve as a catalyst for these investments, since improved transport, energy, and digital connectivity will significantly reduce trade costs and naturally enhance efficiency. To support this agenda, I see a major role for the Policy and Development Center here in Strathmore in terms of designing sustainable investment models and public-private sector arrangements that effectively mobilize stakeholders, governments, and regional economic communities to develop effective policies that drive inclusive and sustainable development in the whole space that we are seized with. Secondly, it is essential for us to sustain skills and development and promote continuous learning as a strategic priority throughout Africa. Africa's youthful population is projected to increase exponentially to 1.7 billion in the next 7 years and 3 billion by 2063. I am convinced, beyond any doubt, that the youth are the future and our greatest asset. By investing in education, vocational training, and research and development, we can unlock the innovative potential of our youth, equip them with the necessary skills for the future, and keep them at the forefront of Africa's economic transformation. I am very sure that universities, starting with Strathmore, are doing exactly that. And I am saying so not from hearing. I am saying so because 2 members of my family have actually been through this university. So I am speaking from knowledge and I'm speaking from experience. And so that's what must happen continuously with all our other universities. Furthermore, it is imperative that we foster a categorically pro-business environment characterized by transparent and predictable regulations, robust legal frameworks, and protection of intellectual property rights. This will attract foreign direct investment, encourage local entrepreneurship, incubate innovation, and promote responsible business practices that create quality jobs and contribute to sustainable development. And I am completely aligned with what the Secretary General of SCFTA mentioned on two issues. The easing of trade, especially on payment of goods and services in our continent. How do we marry the efficiency of our trade with which happens in different currencies? And in the Africa Heads of State Assembly in February next year, we will be adopting the Pan-African payment system that has been crafted by Afrexim Bank as the instrument that is going to allow this continent to trade in our local currencies and avoid the unnecessary loss of about 5 billion shillings in trying to transact in different currencies. So we are properly aligned. In fact, Kenya is a champion, and we've been asked to host the headquarters of the Pan-African payment system in Kenya. And because we are leaders in the technology space, and because we are also promoters of African Continental Free Trade Area, and any institution that supports the integration of our continent, we have gladly accepted to host the headquarters of the Pan-African payment system in Kenya. Let me also confirm that technology is going to play a very important role. And that is why I agree that the ministers are going to conclude on making sure that we bring legislation, we bring regulation, and we agree on how technology is going to support our trade capabilities and possibilities. And as a result, the whole tech space is a space that we must pay very special attention. And it is the reason why I traveled to America, to the Silicon Valley, with the assistance of my good sister Meg, so that we can speak the language of technology to the leading companies globally. It is the reason today the chair of iLab here says Apple is looking at opportunities in Kenya. They have never imagined that they can look for opportunities in Kenya. But because of the profile we have created, because of the pitching that we have made, and because even them, they can now begin to see opportunities in Africa, because that's where the future is. We are now beginning to leverage on interests in our continent. I want to confirm that Kenya is already aligned in terms of data centers. We've already committed 1,000 acres in Naivasha for the development of data centers with green energy, because we believe that this is a service that we do not need it just for Kenya. We need it also for the region, and this is one export we can also export globally. This is one export we can export to America, and we can balance our trade, and we can export to Europe. And that's a space that we intend to take charge and make sure that we deliver on it. And so technology is going to play a big role, making sure that our business people are not unnecessarily encumbered by looking for this currency and that currency to be able to trade. We will try and see whether we can take that out of their equation so that they can concentrate on enhancing trade between all our countries. So we are properly aligned. We are, Kenya is in the right space for us to be able to move this forward. And I want to ask all our institutions to work with us in building the institutions that will support our progress, that will support our development nationally, regionally, and globally, because we need the input of everybody. I believe that the launch of the Africa Continental Trade Area Policy and Development Center represents a pivotal moment in Africa's development journey. It provides a platform for us to work together in a borderless, cross-sectoral, multidisciplinary, and inclusive manner to build a prosperous future in which Africa is a globally competitive driver of world economic affairs. And I welcome all of us to put forward your best ideas, your best perspectives, your best insights in making sure that this works, not just for Strathmore, but not just for Kenya, but ultimately for our continent and for the world. So again, I want to say thank you very much for welcoming me to speak on this subject, which is very dear to me, which I am very passionate about. And I am truly encouraged that we are going to have this center in Strathmore as we build the institutions that will support our thrust and push as we develop our continent and as we get Africa to play its rightful role, which has been long in coming. But I think we are finally there. So asanteni sana, thank you very much, and God bless you.